Good morning, all of you. So, in this today's class, we are going to talk about the Big Bang theory. In the previous class, we were talking about the structure of sun, and we have already done that. So, if you want to see that video, you can go to the playlist, and there you will find the structure of sun. There are two videos. You can check from there. So now in the today's class, what we are going to talk about? We are going to talk about the Big Bang theory. This theory is directly related to the origin of universe. This theory is directly related to the origin of universe. So when we talk about this Big Bang theory, the first question will come: what is this Big Bang theory? So Big Bang theory is nothing just a theory about origin of universe. See, you will find very good videos on the YouTube about the Big Bang theory, but here I'm telling you by writing each and every point about the Big Bang theory. Okay, so just seeing video and doing and the listening will not work. You have to practice also by writing and all, right? So see the video and make good notes and revise that. Okay, so what is the Big Bang theory? It is a theory related to the origin of universe. So first thing, what we know about the origin of universe, the theory which is related to the origin of universe. There are various theory given by the scientist, but the famous one is Big Bang theory. Now let us talk about who has given this theory. Like there must be some question. Okay, we are talking about the Big Bang theory, and we also understood that this is a theory about the origin of the universe. So who has given this theory? What we know about this? Who was the scientist who told about there is a Big Bang theory which is related to the origin of the universe? So there was scientist name, let me write it here. The scientist's name was George Lamatre. George Lamatre, the scientist who has given the theory Big Bang. So who was the George Lamatre? Let us try to find out the answer of this question. Who was George Lamatre? So this George Lamatre is a scientist of Belgium. He belongs to the Belgium, and the another good thing is he was a scientist. He was a scientist. Second point, the first point, he belongs to the Belgium. Second point, he was the scientist. And the third point, he was also mathematician. He was also a mathematician. These are the characteristics of George Lamatre who helped him to create this Big Bang theory, who helped this all kind of characteristics that the George Lamatre have. All these characteristics help Big Bang theory to relate with the origin of the universe. So George Lamatre belongs to the Belgium. He was the scientist, he was the mathematician, and the very good personality of Pope. Now you will ask, what is the Pope? Have you seen Padri that stay in the church? Father? Yes, that is called Pope. Now when we talk about the George Lamatre, now the third question will come: when he has given this Big Bang theory? The theory was given in 1927. It was given first time, it was introduced in 1927, but this was rejected. They have not accepted this theory, but later on in 1931, the time came when this theory was accepted. So first thing, in 1927, first time this theory came into existence, but it was rejected, and after that in 1931, here it should be 1931. In 1931, this theory was accepted. So this is all about the history of the Big Bang theory. Now coming back, what is this Big Bang theory? Now the question is, what is this Big Bang theory? This is our main motive to understand what is Big Bang theory. So let us try to understand. In the very, very, very long ago, there was a one singularity point. Listen, I am not telling anything. This is the concept of Big Bang theory given by George Lemaitre. And George Lemaitre said that in the starting of the universe, there was one point, and this is our point. And this point is known as, another name, that is known as singularity point. The point is known as singularity point. So let me write the name. The point name is singularity point. So what George Lemaitre said, he said that there is a one point that exists in the starting of the origin of the universe, and that point name is singularity point. So now what happened? This singularity point get exploded. Now the question is, why it get exploded? There must be something inside that, because of that it get exploded. So the reason is why the explosion occurs. Why explosion occurs? Let us try to understand. So in let us suppose 1937 billions year ago, this point exists 13.7 billions years ago. This is the timeline of this singularity point. So 13.7 billions ago, what happened? This singularity point get exploded. Now the reason, let us try to understand the reason. The first we will write explosion. Now what we need to understand? We need to understand the reason. So George Lemaitre said the reason is, in this singularity point there are infinitely celestial bodies. Now I think you know the meaning of celestial bodies. Still I am telling you, the body, the object that is present in the space, the objects that is present in the space is known as celestial bodies. So he said that in this singularity point there are infinite celestial bodies. So if there is an infinite celestial bodies, so can you tell me, if there is an infinite celestial bodies, so there must be an infinite density, right? The density is also infinite. If there is an infinite density and infinite celestial bodies, so what will happen? There will be a huge friction will be there. Means friction will be high. Now why friction will be high? Because all these celestial bodies will get collide with each other. So if there will be a collision, there will be a friction, and if there will be a friction, the heat that will generated there, that will be very high. So what we will write? The heat produced will be very high. So if there is a heat produced will be very high, what does it indicate? There is a huge amount of energy present in that singularity point, and because of that heat it get exploded. So I think you understand the concept of this Big Bang theory. There is a singularity point. In that singularity point there is an infinite celestial bodies, and if there is an infinite celestial bodies, there is an infinite density, and if there is an infinite density, so all the celestial bodies get collided with each other, and the friction will increase. So if there is a more friction, the more heat will produce, and because of this more heat produced, the explosion occurs. Right? So I think you will understood. If not, then please back to your video at the starting, try to understand again. So this is the very basic concept about the Big Bang theory of singularity point. Now coming back to the next. So once he explained all these things, the singularity point get exploded. So what is the meaning of this? This explosion is also only known as Big Bang theory. So now what happens after? Let us understand. Once the explosion occurs in this singularity point, after that what happened? What happened? Let us try to understand that also. So once the explosion occurs, singularity points we have discussed. Once the explosion occurs, after this what happened? So let me tell you one more thing. The George Lemaitre also said that once the explosion occurs, the universe is expanding. universe is expanding. Here I will write universe is expanding because of that explosion of that singularity point. The current size and it's continue to expand. I mean, the current size of the universe is also expanding and it continues to expand. Okay, so now talk about what happens after the explosion of this singularity point, right? So once the explosion occurs, let me write here, once the explosion occur, after that what happens, let us try to understand the timeline of Big Bang theory, timeline of this theory. So when we talk about the timeline of this theory, the first thing just after the explosion, 10 to the power minus 32 second, 10 to the power minus 32 second, in this timeline the first thing created, I know what is that first thing, the cosmic radiation. The first thing was cosmic radiation. Now there is a need to understand what is the meaning of this cosmic radiation. Cosmic radiation, so this is the very easy concept. The radiation that comes out in the form of heat after the explosion of the singularity point, this is known as what? This is known as cosmic radiation. So how will you define the radiation? The heat comes out after the explosion of the singularity point. That radiation or that heat is known as cosmic radiation. Why we used to say radiation? Because radiation does not need any medium to travel, and in the space there is no any medium. So if there is no any medium, we cannot say heat, you have to say radiation, because heat can be in the form of conduction and convection, right? So here we will say radiation because radiation does not need any medium to travel. So this is all about you can say this Big Bang theory. Now we are talking about the timeline of this theory. So after explosion, the first thing happened, 10 to the power minus 32 second. In this time, the first thing created, and that was cosmic radiation. Now coming back to the next point, once this created, just after this 10 to the power minus 6 second, just after this, in 10 to the power minus 6 second, there was a creation of proton. There was a creation of proton, and I think you are knowing what is proton. You must have studied about the structure of atom. If not, then let me tell you. The matter that we have, this is our, let us suppose, structure of atom. Now in this atom, at the middle there is a presence of nucleus, right? This is called nucleus, and inside this nucleus two things exist, the proton and neutron. And around this nucleus the electron revolve like this. Around this nucleus the electron revolve like this. So this is the electron particles, this is the electron, and in the middle it is called a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there is a presence of proton and neutron, and all together proton and neutron all together is known as nucleons. All together we used to say nucleons. So this is the common concept of structure of atom. So we are not going to details about the structure of atom, just I wanted to tell you the proton exists inside the nucleus, and inside the nucleus neutron is also there. So we'll talking about later on about these things. Right now we will stick to the whatever we are discussing right now. So in the first time when the explosion occurs, in 10 to the power 13 second, cosmic radiation created. Just after that, in the time of 10 to the power minus 6 second, proton has created. Now what about after proton? Then after proton, just after 100 seconds, can you see these are the very less time, even you cannot imagine. It just, this, the finger you slap and these things created. So it's a very 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 small time. So in 10 seconds what has created, you must be knowing about the deuterium. Do you have any idea about deuterium? What is the deuterium? Okay, let me tell you. This is the, in 100 seconds, deuterium. The second thing we have helium and lithium. Lithium has created. Now you can ask, sir, what is this deuterium, helium and the lithium? These are the element. Helium you must be knowing because this is a very easy concept, and you know this helium denoted by He. In the periodic table you will get these are the element. Lithium is denoted by Li. But in the periodic table this deuterium is not mentioned. Why it is not mentioned? Because deuterium is the isotope of hydrogen. Deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen. Deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen. Now what are these isotopes? So I am not going to tell you the isotope, but this I will tell you. There are 3 isotopes of hydrogen. Hydrogen 1 1, hydrogen 1 2 and hydrogen 1 3. Now what are these hydrogen 1 1, hydrogen 1 2, hydrogen 1 3? These are the isotope. And this isotope is known as, the first one is known as ordinary hydrogen. Means the simple hydrogen that is exist, that you can use as a fuel also. Ordinary hydrogen. Now when we talk about the second one, this is the deuterium. This is the deuterium and is also known as heavy hydrogen. This is also known as heavy hydrogen. Now when we talk about the third one, this is known as tritium. Tritium, and you know the tritium is a radioactive. Now you may ask, what is the radioactive? So this question you may search on the Google, or if you may want extra video on the radioactive element, then please comment in the comment box area and I will tell you the next lecture may be a radioactive element. Okay, so there I will explain you each and everything about the radioactive with the proper notes. So if you can comment, okay, if we will get the more number of students, then we will arrange some lecture about the radioactive element. So let us talk about isotope of hydrogen. Isotope H1 H1, H12 H13. H13 is known as tritium, radioactive element. H12 is known as deuterium, heavy hydrogen. H11 is an ordinary hydrogen. So now you may ask, so tell me, what is the isotope? So you must be knowing about the atomic number and atomic mass, right? If atomic number is same, if any element that has same atomic number but atomic mass different, atomic number same but atomic mass different, so these kind of element is known as isotope. So here you can see the lower one is known as atomic number and the upper one is known as atomic mass. So here we have 3 elements, one element, hydrogen, hydrogen and again hydrogen, but in all these 3 hydrogen we have same number of atomic number. We have same atomic number, but you can find we have different atomic mass. So if there is a different atomic mass, this is known as isotope. Now the next thing, if I will tell you, now you can answer very easily. Now what is my question? If I will tell you formula of water, then what you will tell? H2O. Yeah, very easy. But if I will ask you formula of heavy water, what will you tell? You have to say DTO. Why? Because in all among these hydrogen, the deuterium is the heavy one and it is noted by D. That is why we are writing DTO. So this is all about the isotope of hydrogen and it is all about the deuterium. So this deuterium has created within 100 seconds of explosion. Within 100 seconds after the explosion of the singularity point. So this is all about the deuterium. I think you must have knowing all these things. If not, then so please make a notes and revise it again and again. Now once we have done this 100 second, now what happens after that? Now after that, after 100 millions years, after 100 millions years, the first created thing within 10 to the power minus 32 second, second thing 10 to the power minus 6 second, and the third thing 100 second. Now just after 100 millions years, after 100 millions years, the first star created, the first star forms. I will write form, that is the good word. The first star forms, even we will say stars. Okay, the first stars forms after 100 millions years of explosion. Now this is the 100. Now what happens after that? After that 500 millions years. See, timeline you have to remember, because these are the important for the MCQ, for the pre-exam. After 100 millions years, there is a production of, tell me, galaxies. Because after galaxy, obvious, there is a formation of galaxy. After stars, there is a formation of galaxy. So there is a formation of galaxy after 500 millions years. And this is the current, record holder, because this is the minimum time. After that the first galaxy has been created. So this is the current record holder. We will write current record holder for the earliest formation of galaxy, for earliest, better it will write for earliest known galaxy. So the galaxy that we have found, that galaxy is made after 500 millions years after explosion. Okay, so this is the third point. And now the last one is 4 billion years. Now after that 4 billion years. Now what happens in these 4 billion years? There is a star formation at the peak. Now what is the meaning of this star formation at the peak? After this much years, the stars were forming in a very huge amount. So what we will write? Star formation at peak. So this is all about the Big Bang theory. But if I will ask you, this is all about the Big Bang theory. So if I will ask about, okay, tell me, you know about all these things. Now tell me, what is the limitation of this Big Bang theory? Limitation means what is the drawback? What that Big Bang theory does not explain. What George Lemaitre didn't understand. That is the limitation. Now how will you explain what is the limitation? So let me write here. So if somebody will ask, okay, you learn the Big Bang theory, you understand the concept of Big Bang theory, but what about the limitation that it has? Limitation of Big Bang theory, the another name you may say drawback of Big Bang theory. What is the limitation or drawback of this Big Bang theory? So there are generally you can also say, with the help of your observation, he didn't talk about, tell me, he didn't talk about singularity point, from where this singularity point came. He didn't talk about singularity point. Okay, from where this singularity point came. This was not explained by the George Lemaitre. Okay, now the second thing, he also not explained what is the time duration for the formation of the universe, because he only said that there is a singularity point, he exploded and there is a formation of the universe. But he has not told the timeline of the, he said only galaxy till star formation he has given the numbers, but after formation, after explosion of the universe singularity point, he didn't talk about the duration for the formation of universe. So we'll write, he didn't talk about the formation of the universe. He talked about only the explosion of that singularity point, but that singularity point maybe exists in some another universe, right? So this is whole about the Big Bang theory. I hope you understand all these the concept that I have discussed right now. So this much is enough for today. So thank you so much all of you for joining us, and take care, make a proper notes and do the revision. Thank you so much once again.